So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What were you doing at 19 years old? Kaylee Law was sworn in as a member of the Walnut City Council last week. She's earned 3 associate's degrees in English, history, and political science.
Oh my goodness.
A bachelor's in government at 17, a master's degree in government at 18, and now she's looking to turn her passion for community into meaningful change.
Kaylee Law is here to talk about this extraordinary journey. It sounds like you've been passionate about politics and government for most of your life.
Yeah, I'm actually really passionate about public policy, legislation, that side of things, but the biggest thing for me is sort of public service, yeah.
So what inspired you to run for city council?
Yeah, so I've been really involved with some local nonprofits, so the Purist Group and the Chinese American Association of Walnut, so I served on the board of directors of both of those.
Oh my goodness.
That was sort of when I realized that there was an opportunity to be able to do more for my local community.
Well, it's pretty impressive. I feel like your resume runs off the page already at 19 years old. So it is interesting, right? Like your generation is not represented on the city council. So what kind of changes well, it is now, but until now it hasn't been. What kind of impact do you expect to make? What kind of changes and what kind of unique insight do you think someone from your generation can make in this level?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing for me is having really open communication, listening to residents, having that sort of representation, not just of my generation, but being able to communicate with all the residents in our city and just being able to represent what their concerns and what their needs are. Yeah.
Do you feel like your peers are also in a space where they're looking at wanting to have purpose or do more like you, or are you kind of a standout?
No, I think there's a lot of us. I've been able to meet some other really great young electeds as well, and I think we have a good community, and I'm really looking forward to grow that, yeah.
Well, it's really exciting. You know, there's been a lot of debate lately about whether it's worth it to go to college, whether higher education is worth it. What would you say to people who don't think
With your
that it's worth
17
it?
million degrees.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely dependent on the person. So for me, I think I knew this was the right path for me. I have a younger brother. That's not what his interests are. He's interested in more of the trades. So I think the biggest thing is really following what you're passionate about, because it's really about what you're passionate about, and if you don't love it, then it's gonna not quite be worth your while sometimes. Right. Yeah.
I love that you see that though, because trades are needed too. It's not just about going to college. So even within your own family, you're seeing that kind of play out.
For sure.
I have to ask, do you have ambitions to run for higher? Like, do you plan to be the mayor of Walnut and then go on to?
So our mayor rotates, so I will be mayor in about 3 or 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So. But in terms of running for higher office, I think I just want to serve Walnut for as long as I have the opportunity to, and I don't know what the future holds, but for right now, just really focused on Walnut. Yeah.
So maybe you can legally have a glass of champagne by the mayor.
Maybe.
What do you see as the biggest issue right now in the Southern California community that you'd like to tackle, if you could snap your fingers?
So we're working a lot on public safety right now. I'm working with some of the other council members. We're working on commercial crime right now and sort of trying to bring that down. But
that's a huge issue.
Definitely.
In every community across Southern California.
Absolutely. You know, as someone your age, if you're likely kids are watching, they're probably inspired by you. I'm sure you've had people tell you they're inspired by you. I'm sure I'm inspired by you.
Thank you.
What would be your piece of advice to people who say, boy, maybe I kind of want to get involved in public service?
Yeah, so I was a first-generation college student, and that was pretty meaningful to me. And I think the biggest thing is really just being proactive, and if you're interested in something, just take the risk, take the jump, just get involved right away. And I think that's the most important thing, and find what you're passionate about.
So you've made up for every other generation of your family who didn't get a degree. And what do you see going into the future? Obviously, you'll be mayor in a few years. What about anything beyond that? And how did it feel when you actually were sworn in? How did that moment feel?
Surreal, to be honest, but it was really awesome to just see all of my friends and family and mentors there, and just I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So it really meant a lot to me.
I'm sure it was a great payoff for them as well.
Yeah.
I just got a text from a friend of mine who, because there's so much debate and you're obviously so successful, how old were you when you got your first cell phone?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I was just entering middle school, and it was just like text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was text messages and phone calls. So I want to say maybe 12, 13.
Okay, but then social media?
A little bit later, probably like 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you expect to be answering these questions?
But I'm happy to.
Well,
Yeah.
there's such a debate, I think, for people that looking at someone who's so successful at your age. I think there's this debate over technology and how to balance that and all that kind of stuff when it comes to education, but clearly you were able to do that.
I think it was more just for emergencies, and I didn't really use the phone until later, but yeah.
So if parents are listening.
Yeah. Well, Kaylee, thank you so much, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank
It was
you so
nice
much
to
for
meet you.
having
We
me.
appreciate you coming in. We hope to
Thank
talk to you again
you.
soon.
I appreciate it.